So here I am trying to control my tongue. I got to meditate in His Word. If you meditate in His Word, it will change the condition of your heart. If you got some things in there that you just can't seem to get out, that you have tried on your own, just meditate in His Word. Find the verse that deals with your issue. If you have an unforgiveness spirit, find the verse that deals with unforgiveness. If you don't know how to display love, find the verse that deals with love and begin to meditate on those verses, and it will get into your heart and it will begin to change things, and you'll find yourself loving people that you thought you could never love, because God's Word changes people. So the psalmist said here, but in this law do I meditate day and night, because I want to delight myself in this law. Go to Joshua chapter 1, verse 7. I want to show you another scripture here. So first, if I'm going to change the way I talk, I have to change my heart. And the first method of changing my heart is to meditate in God's Word. Joshua 1, Old Testament. We're still in the Old Testament. About the 5th book. The 6th book of the Bible. Joshua. After Deuteronomy. Chapter 1. Beginning at the 7th verse. When you have it, say amen. And it reads, only be thou strong and very courageous. This is God talking to Joshua. That thou may observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left hand, that thou mayest prosper whatsoever thou goest. This book of the law, and at this time all he had was the 10 Commandments at this time. But he's telling them, this book of the law should not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein, for then shalt thou make thy way prosperous, and then shalt thou have good success. Look what he tells Joshua. I'm trying to set you up, Joshua, as the next leader of the people. But in order for me to set you up like that, I got to do something. I need you to meditate in my word day and night, and make sure that you do everything that is said in my word. And if you do that, not only will the law not depart out of thy mouth, but you shall be successful in everything that you do. In other words, he was telling Joshua, if you meditate in this day and night, there are some times when you don't know how to answer people. The word will begin to come alive in you and tell you what to say. I heard Oral Roberts say one time that you ain't got enough word until the word begins to talk back to you. And so you got to get the word inside of you, because the word is alive and it begins to talk back to you. And God told Joshua, if you meditate in this word, in other words, what he was telling Joshua is that this word will control your tongue. That since you got to deal with all these children of Israel, these 12 tribes, these million of people, and Moses allowed them to make him upset and strike the rock instead of speaking to the rock, then if you would meditate in my word, I'll show you how to answer.
That's right, sir.
I'll show you how to answer. I'll show you how to deal. I'll show you how to move amidst other people. And whatever issue you have, all you got to do is get in the word, and you will be successful at whatever you do, because the word covers it all.
Yes.
I know some of us have difficulty maybe understanding some of the words of the King James Version. That's why I love reading the King James by another version, the Amplified, the New Living Translation. But I never want to leave the King James, I never want to leave the real foundation. But I get a better understanding sometimes when I read them both together. And I found that every situation that I come up against is in the Word. I've been like some of you. I've been questioning, how could a book so old deal with the issues that I'm dealing with right now, when I don't think they were dealing with what I'm dealing with right now. But when I begin to read His Word, I find out that God is so awesome that He covered it all those years ago to deal with me right now.
Go ahead. Stay right there, Pastor.
And so when I have a problem with my tongue, if I get in the word, I'll kill a multiple of problems. For God's word is so powerful. You know, if when you have an infection and the doctor doesn't know what kind of infection you have, he'll give you an antibiotic that deals with more than one thing.
That's right. Yeah.
And God's word is just like that. You hear God will give you his word for one thing, but in the midst of him dealing with the one thing, it'll deal with other things in your life. And you're trying to figure out, I did this for this, trying to bring my tongue under control. But here I am loving people that I thought I couldn't love. Here I am walking in a way I thought I never could walk. Here I am living the way I thought I never could live. And here I am being successful in things and having wisdom to do things that I thought I never had wisdom to do. What is happening? I cannot get in his word and he don't open it up to me and begin to multiply his blessings in my life.
Yes, sir. That's
all right.
Yes.
That's why we need to run the people to the word and not to doctrine. Run the people to the word, because the word will build a relationship with you. That when the relationship is built, I don't have to tell you how to act in church.
Right.
I don't have to tell you how to respond, because the word will begin to generate something on the inside of you, and God will begin to teach you and bring you in order in his house.
Yes.
I may have to let you know how we do it, but he'll bring you in order. He'll do what needs to be done. And if I'm going to bring my mouth under control, because some of us just like saying what we want to say. When we want to say it and how we want to say it, and you just take it for what it is.
All right now.
But I read in the gospel that God says, season your conversation with salt.
That's right.
And the only thing that's going to season your conversation the right way is the right spice. And the right spice is the word of God.
All right.
You know that some days you don't cook if you don't got the right spices, because it's not going to taste right. It's not going to, you're not going to eat it. If you don't got the right spices, you be like, oh man, I can't cook that. You know, it's like that Miracle Whip commercial. You about to put the sandwich together and you go in the refrigerator. There's no Miracle Whip. You put the meat back, you put the bread back, because you just had a taste. And God's word is the same thing. There's some things that cannot be dealt with in your conversation without the right spices, and God's word is the only thing that has the right spice. You try to do it on your own. You went to all the kind of classes. You went to public speaking. You went here. You went there. You went to anger management class. How can I control my anger? Well, the simplest thing to do is begin to dive into the word of God.
All right.
Yes.
And to take, meditation is this. I take one passage. I don't try to read the whole thing, but I take one passage that deals with what I'm going through, and I read it over and over and over again until that thing sinks down in my heart.
Yes.
And it changes my conversation by changing my heart. Let's go to the second method of changing our heart. It's called surrendering. Go to the book of Psalms, the 37th Psalm. The 37th Psalm. Beginning at the 4th verse. Psalm 37, verse 4. When you have it, say amen. The psalmist says here, delight thyself also in the Lord, and in him he shall give thee the desires of thy heart. I want you to stay right there. Since I've been raised and coached, they taught me when I was coming up that this meant to give God praise. If you would just act crazy, if you would just praise him in any situation you're in, God will give you the desires of your heart. And then when I started acting crazy and praising him and I didn't get it, I tried to figure out what's wrong.
Come on, sir.
I ain't going to help you today. Because this word, but what I did, I went back, this word delight does not mean praise. This word delight does not mean happy. This word delight in the original language means to be pliable or to be like Play-Doh in God's hands. So in other words, God is saying, if you let me mold you, if you let me shape you, if you let me change you, I'll give thee the desires of my heart. Now they taught me in church that that was my desires that he was going to give me. But in all actuality, that's not what the scripture is saying. God is saying, if you let me mold you and shape you, I'll put a desire in your heart.
Yes.
That's right.
So you're trying to figure out, how can I love somebody that I can't stand? Surrender.
Yeah.
How can I do something that I don't really want to do? Surrender. How can I be in a place that I really don't want to be? Surrender.
Yes, yes.
Because if I surrender, he'll take the desire I have now out. And he'll put the desire that he wants me to have in. And then I love being where I'm at. I love doing what I'm doing. I begin to love the person that last week I couldn't stand. Because God doesn't play games and he's not fronting. He knows you can't do it if you don't really love it. But for him, that's not a problem. Because if you surrender, he'll put the desire he wants in your heart. So all I got to do is surrender. And if I surrender to him, he'll give me what I need to have in my heart. Look what verse 5 says, because he's still talking about the same thing. Commit thy ways unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. He'll change your desires in your heart. And then all you have to do is commit your ways to him, trust in him, and he'll bring to pass what he has put in your heart. If I surrender, that's how I keep my heart right.
Yes, sir.
I keep it right. I keep on saying yes, Lord. I keep it right by being honest with God. I don't know when we learn that we can't be honest with God and can't tell God, I don't want to do it. I don't know where we learned that from. He already knows you don't want to do it. And all he's waiting for you to say is, Lord, I really don't want to do it, but since this is your will, I will. Isn't that what Jesus did in the garden? Lord, let this cup pass from me, but let thy will be done. In other words, he was saying, I don't really want to go to this cross right now.
Yes, sir.
If you're going to follow after Jesus, I don't really want to do this right now. I don't want to love. I don't want to usher. I don't want to sing. I don't want to do all that right now, Lord. But if it's your will, I'll say yes. And when you say yes, then he takes the desire of not wanting to do it out. And he puts the desire of you wanting to do it in. And now you're trying to figure out why you running with so much energy to do something that you really last week didn't want to do, because God has changed your heart. And now you're talking about it in a different light. Instead of downgrading it and saying you don't want to do it, you say, Lord, what do you want? Where do you want me to go? What can I do? Where can I? And you're talking so positive about it because he'll change your heart, which will change your conversation. You can't forgive? Just find the scripture and begin to meditate on it. And then you'll find yourself saying positive things when you were saying negative things. Because he'll change your heart. All he needs for us to do is to do his principles.
That's right. That's right.
And here in the worship center, I'm going to teach you the principles. Not make you do it, not try to put you in a box and say you better do it, but if I teach you the principles, when I'm off the scene, when I'm nowhere around you, you'll do it not because you love me, you'll do it because you love God and he has changed your heart.
My God. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I changed my heart by meditation and by surrendering. And if I can keep on saying yes to God, even when I don't want to do it, he'll change me. If I stay in his word, I find myself saying things and talking in a different way, and people will sit back and say, are you the same person that cussed me out last week? Are you the same one that this time I just got to give you a piece of my mind?
That's right.